Hey everybody, welcome to the Hamakua Homestead. My name is Tiffany, and here on this channel, we are taking you along for all of our adventures here on the ranch. Today I was looking through this neat book that I bought, and it is Can It and Ferment It, small batch canning recipes. And I came across this one that is spicy sriracha garlic cloves. It only creates 1 pint jar, so I think it'll be a pretty simple recipe, but I wanted to give it a try because I love sriracha, like more than most people do, and everybody in our family loves garlic, so why not give it a try? It calls for 2 garlic bulbs, red peppers, which I'm not sure if I have. I'm gonna see. If not, I'll find a substitute for it. And then for the brine, it is white vinegar, pickling salt, and sriracha. So let's give it a try. Okay, so peeling garlic is like my favorite thing in the world. But anyways, the recipe calls for whole cloves of garlic and then to cut them in half. That means you're supposed to peel them with them looking all pretty. Obviously, I was struggling with that a little bit because peeling garlic. But anywho, so I'm gonna go ahead and just cut each one of these in half. This is 2 full bulbs and it calls for 1 pint. I think there's gonna be a lot of brine in there. So we'll find out what it looks like in a minute. So we have our garlic cut up. It is peeled and halved. Now the next step is to make our brine, which includes half a cup of vinegar, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 2 tablespoons of sriracha. Half a cup of vinegar, one teaspoon of salt, tablespoons of sriracha. I am a big fan of sriracha, and I have been seeing a couple of videos recently of people making homemade sriracha. That excites me. I have a feeling I will be trying that at some point in the near future. So this recipe calls to let this come to a boil for 3 minutes. So I'm just gonna mix it together, heat it up. So one of the things that I forgot about earlier in our recipe is that it calls for 1/2 cup of diced red bell pepper. I don't have any. So I figured I will go ahead and just replace it with a little bit of cabbage. So we're just gonna mix our garlic and our cabbage together, and that is going to be the mass of our recipe instead of bell peppers. It's worth a try. What the recipe calls for is to take our garlic and our peppers, which is cabbage in our case, and pack our 1 jar pretty full, trying not to bruise our cloves. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that while our brine is still boiling. I think that worked out pretty nice. So I don't know about you guys, but this does not look like enough sauce. It turned into such a little amount of sauce after it said to boil it. I think I'm gonna have to add some more. A lot more. The recipe says to water bath can this for a full 10 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my rim cleaned up and my lid put on. And just for the sake of our experiment, I'm going to, hello? You found the calf, where is it? Okay, thanks, bye. Okay, you guys, we have our jar filled up. It is definitely not what I was expecting by the recipe. I'm not sure if maybe my garlic was a bit smaller than what the book expected, possibly. But so we've got our garlic and our cabbage. It is filled up almost to the tippy top as the recipe calls for. So it says that I need to go ahead and water bath can this one for a full 10 minutes. So I'm gonna get my rim cleaned up, make sure there's no residue, get my clean brand new lid put on, and just for the sake of this experiment, I'm gonna go ahead and bust out a boiling pot for 1 pint jar. We are at a rolling boil. So I'm gonna stick our jar. Just kidding. It needs to be covered completely. That's not tall enough. I'm gonna add more water and bring it back up to a boil. We have our hot water going. We've got our 1 pint jar. It's going to sit in the boiling water for a full 10 minutes, completely submerged, an inch, probably a little more than an inch below the surface. So I guess it's as easy as that. We have been boiling for 10 minutes. We are going to take our pint jar out of the pot. Looks like it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. So we're going to leave it here sitting on this rag. We're not going to touch it. It still has water. You can see it's just 1 little pint. It still has water on the top. The button top has not pushed down just yet. So we're just going to leave it. The recipe says leave it for 12 hours. I might leave it for longer than that because we'll be at work, and yeah, the longer the better before you disturb it anyway. And then we'll take our ring off, wash the outside of the jar, put it away. According to Can It and Ferment It, This particular one should be left on the shelf for 4 weeks just to marinate in its own juices, do its thing, and then you can open it, sample it, refrigerate after opening. So I will bring you guys back in 4 weeks and we will taste test it together. Welcome back, you guys. I am really excited for today. We get to do our taste test on our Sriracha garlic. This has been sitting on the pantry shelf for over a month. It said to let it set for a month until you taste it. And I don't really have a need for it right now. I already ate lunch, but I really want to give it a try. So we're gonna open it up. Oh, that smells amazing. Let's see. Got a little sprouty. Ooh. Not really sure what to make of it. It's very strong garlic, but it's got a mild pickle taste to it. I'm gonna try some of this cabbage. Now, if I remember correctly, I was supposed to put red peppers in here, but I didn't have, so I replaced it with cabbage. Oh. It's so unique. It doesn't taste like garlic, and it doesn't taste like Sriracha. Like they did something to each other, and I'm kind of digging it. I'm gonna try one more garlic here real quick. Kind of green. Not green in a bad way. The garlic is toned down quite a lot. It's got so much tang, so much bazang. I'm digging it. I'm gonna keep this in the fridge, and I'm going to slice it up on top of whatever I can think of. Earlier today, this would be a great example of that. Earlier today, I took leftover curry from yesterday and I put fermented onions on top. I'm not a big fan of the fermented onions, but it was a great reason to incorporate them. You know, they weren't cooked or anything. I just threw them right on top of cold curry from yesterday. And that way I did enjoy them. I think this will have kind of a similar effect for me, but I'm gonna go ahead and put the lid on this, pop it in the fridge, eat it as I can come up with creative ways to do so. It's pretty good, very strong, but very good. I like it. So that concludes our Sriracha experiment. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today here on the Hamakua Homestead. We'll see you soon.